Hi guys, it's Pasquale, and you're back for more goalkeeping. So, and I'm out here walking, getting it in, curling some dumbbells while I walk, trying to get fit. So I wanted to address a few things I said on the very first, a very early video, if not the very first one. So, I said I was the greatest of all time. So if anyone has to tell you they're the greatest of all time, they are probably not the greatest of all time, except for me. And that's the point I'm trying to make, okay? It's cocky, it's cheeky, and that's okay. So I'm not being entirely serious about it. Yes, I am a great goalkeeper. I was never a professional goalkeeper. I might make another video addressing that, but in 1992, you graduate high school. In 1992, in America, 7 years before the MLS even exists. Where do you go? Where do you go from there? You go to play college? And then what? There is no pro team. Are there teams in Europe thinking, oh, we need a goalie? Let's go recruit a goalie from America. No, they're not. No, they're not. My freshman year at college, I went to see a game between UCLA, who is the reigning NCAA champions, who had Brad Friedel as their goalie, against SMU. I was in college. I went to USC. I was in California. I went to that game. Now, the year before that, so Brad Friedel was the second string goalie behind Tony Maiola on the U.S. national team. They were playing Rutgers. The year before that, when they won the title, they played Rutgers, who had Alexi Lalas, who was also on the U.S. men's national team. And I think Kobe Jones was in that game. So anyway, this year, 92, fall of 92, or it might have been spring of 93. Honestly, I don't quite remember. So UCLA, the reigning champs, NCAA against SMU. Brad Friedel, with about 5 minutes left in regulation, they're in the lead. It was a 1-point lead. I forget if it was 1-0 or 2-1. SMU gets an indirect kick a little bit outside the goal box, and they have a guy, he just floats over to the side. No one picks him up, and I'm thinking, dude, the goalie, I'm like, goalie, yo, you need to tell one of your guys to cover that guy. They leave him alone, dink. They dink it to that guy, and boom, touch, shoots it right in. Tie game. We go to overtime. Somewhere in overtime, I forget if it was the first round of overtime, second half of overtime, I don't remember. Same exact play. SMU, game's tied now. SMU gets another indirect kick. And what do? They float a dude out to the side of the wall. Once again, UCLA doesn't pick him up. And what did they do? Surprise, surprise. We ran the exact same play that worked on y'all 20 minutes ago. Pass it to the open guy that no one covers, that the goalkeeper doesn't tell to cover. Goalkeeper doesn't tell anyone to cover. And doink, he just kicks it right in. And guess what? It was sudden death back then. Game over. The game didn't continue. They didn't have a chance. No, they didn't. So I'm like, this guy, this guy, Brad Friedel, this guy plays for the U.S. national team. I was like, this dude's a joke. And whether I'm right about that or not, As a guy about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years younger than him, I thought he was a joke. I was like, dude, my club team would mop the floor with these guys. And so like, that's what I have to look forward to. So where do you go? You're a high schooler in America. You graduate high school, and it's like, is that what's on your mind? I'm gonna go and play pro soccer. There is no pro soccer in America for another 7 years. Okay. There he is. Hey, meanie. Hey, meanie. Here I am. Okay. So. There's the buddy. That's the other guy from that backyard. Okay. Took me a minute. So. Right. The greatest of all time. I'm pulling your leg. Yes, I was a great goalkeeper. I'm pulling y'all's leg about being the greatest of all time. But yes, you better think you're awesome if you want to play this position. You better think you're awesome. You better not get one butt kicking and get rattled and be like, oh no, they scored a ton of goals on me, I must suck. You got to brush that off. Like, knowing you're awesome, that's got to come from inside. You just have to know it. You just have to know it. It can't be from other people telling you. Everyone's gonna let in a sucky goal once in a while. Everyone's gonna have a bad day. Everyone's gonna have a sucky game. Everyone's gonna make a low IQ play. Everyone's gonna not be paying attention one time. So you gotta be able to shake it off, the sucky days and the bad games. If that's gonna get to you, you can't play this position. So why would I say that? Well, because it's cheeky and it's cocky. And in my case, it's true. Paying attention? Okay. The other thing I talked about is the SYTH. That we goalkeepers are not the Jedi, we're the SYTH. Okay? The destroyer of goals and the destroyer of souls. So this has to do with your mentality. This has nothing to do with playing dirty, okay? I'm gonna say it again, I'll look right in the camera. This being SYTH, what I'm calling being the SYTH, has nothing to do with playing dirty. That is not what I am telling anybody. I want to be clear about that. I do not want to be trying to send the wrong message on here. All right. In all the years that I have played football, I've had one card ever, and it was a yellow card. And I remember it well because the only time I was ever carded. I came out on a corner kick. I put my hands on a dude's shoulders, not intentionally, just instinctually, because I was going up for the ball. Put my hand on a dude's shoulders and I pushed up like that. Went up, grabbed the ball. They called me. I got a penalty kick. Yellow card, a penalty kick. And I don't remember if they scored that kick or not. I just remember I got yellow carded. Only card I ever got. I was not a player that got carded. I was just not a player that got carded. I got along with referees. I always greeted referees before the game. I always went and told referees good game after the game and thank you. I didn't just do that with my own players and the other players. I do it to the referees. You got to treat the referees right. I refereed a game one time, and I was so bad at it, and it was so hard. Like, I have a lot of respect for referees, even when they're screwing up. It's like, yeah, it ain't easy. So yeah, I think when you get out there, you got to take care of your business, dude. I don't believe in talking to the other team. I don't believe in running your mouth. Run your mouth by running the scoreboard up. You want to talk trash? Run the score up. That's the best way to talk trash. And until you're hoisting a title, there's no need to talk trash. Over what? You scored a goal? You scored 3 goals in a game, you won a game, you're gonna talk some trash? If you wanna talk some trash, hoist a title. And when you do that, you'll realize you don't even need to talk any trash, because you're the one holding the title and everyone else knows it because they got their butts kicked by you. And that is all the trash you will ever need to talk. I'm not about playing dirty. I'm about playing rough. I'll play rough and I play aggressive. I'm not out there playing dirty. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Well, that being said, I will protect myself. If I'm gonna get hurt, or I gotta do something that's gonna hurt the other guy to prevent me from getting hurt, the other guy's the one getting hurt. Now that is not playing dirty. That is protecting yourself. Go about your business. Talk to your team. Talk to your guys. There is no need for you to be out there talking to the other team. And when you set foot, if your buddy is on the other team, your buddy from your neighborhood or whatever, and he's on the other team, there's no need to be out there joking with him before the game. You go and talk with your team. You go in your tribe and circle up. You ignore the other team. If they talk to you, on the field, don't talk back to them. This is what happens when they talk trash to you. Nothing, right? Don't give them the satisfaction of getting under your skin or getting your goat or knowing that they did. You just ignore them and you'll be the one that gets under their skin. That's all you got to do it is ignore them. I don't like talking to the other. There's no reason to talk to the other team. Now, when I was 17 and I coached a team of 11 to 13 year olds, I taught something at practice one day that I had been taught by my club coach. And that was how to trip without being caught, which in a nutshell went like this. Instead of a big sweeping motion where the referee can see you trip the dude across the field, you just do a little flick with your toe into the guy's heel at the right time, and it pushes his foot into his other leg while he's running, and down he goes, and nobody saw anything. It's a little dirty. And so the explanation I got of that when I was taught it went like this. I'm not teaching you guys to trip. I know that you guys are going to trip whether I tell you to do it or not. So I'm just going to teach you how to do it without getting caught. Because I know you're going to do it anyway, but don't do it. So there you go. So I taught that at my practice. And the next practice, all the parents showed up. And they're like, "Are you teaching our kids to trip?" And I was like, No. I'm teaching them how to trip without getting caught, because they're going to trip anyway, so they might as well not get caught. But I'm not teaching them to do it. I actually told them not to trip. But I figured as long as they're going to do it in spite of me telling them not to, they might as well know how to do it without getting caught. And you know the funny part about that is all the parents were pretty happy about that explanation and accepted it. They're like, oh, well, okay, that's not too dirty. Okay, coach, there you go. So anyway, wrap it up. We are the SYTH. All right, my SYTH babies, that does not mean that you are to play dirty. If you're out there getting carded all the time, especially if you're getting red cards, you're doing something wrong. That is not the way to conduct yourself. All right. And what else? Oh yeah, who's the GOAT? Me.